Who joins Argentina in the final four for the climax of the tournament here in Santiago. Alfio Basile, the Argentine coach, has named just two of the players who are in the lineup which beat Paraguay and clinched Argentina's qualification. That's very much his ghost squad, but still some very, very fine players. Latori is back in favour. The much heralded starlet of the tournament gets his chance after being dropped for the last game. He's number 11, the 21-year-old. The shape of the Peruvian team has remained largely unchanged through thick and thin during the last week. In common with the other teams in the tournament, they've operated with a flat back four, even though their most stylish player, Jose Del Solar, is a sweeper with his club side. Both of these teams have recently abandoned the sweeper system. Before we know it, they'll be playing with big centre forwards. He's been on the receiving end. Alejandro Urizaga, the goalkeeper for Peru, who are in the all-white strip and who will start the game. It's not a match that will decide anything. Argentina have already qualified for the final four. Peru are sadly out of contention, but their return home to Lima tomorrow will be a little less painful if they can match the team who've emerged as clear favourites to win the Copa América. Urizaga has conceded 6 goals in his 3 games so far. He has a new left-back tonight, Vidalis, who's come in for the injured Olivares. Argentina have a complete new look. There's Latori, who seems to be wearing the captain's armband at 21 years of age. Ruggieri, one of the senior players who's been rested tonight, with qualification already assured. 17 is Zapata, and we've got a new look strike force with Mohamed raising down the flanks, and Claudio Garcia and Ramon Medina Bello waiting in the middle. They're the 2 main forwards for Argentina tonight. Argentina will be keen to protect the tournament's only remaining 100% record, but above all, they'll want to try and maintain the rhythm and the momentum that they established in that sparkling win over the Paraguayans on Friday. They've been getting better and better throughout the first week of the tournament. This is Bravo for Peru, the right back. On by Del Solar. Covering is Garcia. Now Mohamed, who's very, very pacey. As Peru are quickly finding out. The officials tonight, the referee, Oscar Ortube of Bolivia. Here's Del Solar. Urano it was with the layback. This is Martin Rodriguez. And La Rosa was waiting, but Lanari's first touch in Copa, the Argentine second-string goalkeeper. 16 is Claudio Garcia. This is Mohamed. Giunta and Altamirano, Milano, I should say, almost left out to each other. This is Zapata, and here's Latori. Nice ball from Garcia. Medina Bello trying to open them up, and Latori has a great opportunity here, and he's taken it. An Argentina lead after just 3 minutes. And at last, Diego Latori has arrived at the Copa. The young prince of Argentine football, who's so disappointed in the opening 2 games, was dropped for the 3rd match, recalled tonight, and that is the answer to the coach's faith. A goal in just over 3 minutes. He really did arrive with the weight of the world resting on his shoulders. A very lucrative move to Fiorentina on the way. He's been complaining of toothache too ever since he arrived in Chile. And it all got a little bit too much for him, all the pre-publicity, all the high expectations. But that one match rest against Paraguay may just have done Latorre all the world of good. And Argentina may have a brand new player to unleash on the others in the final stages. Latorre's first goal of the Copa. He scored 11 for his club side, Boca Juniors, in the season just completed in Argentina. It was a great season for Latorre. It earned him his move to Italy, it earned him his high reputation. And now maybe he will begin to live up to it. Altamirano. Gamboa. Traviotto, who started the tournament at left back, but is filling in at the heart of the Argentine defence today. It's late afternoon in Santiago. Kick-off time locally was 3 o'clock. It's been quite a cold day. But Argentina warming the hearts of their supporters with a fine start. And here's Medina Bello with another good cross. And the Peruvian defence, which have leaked goals throughout the opening week of the tournament, on the receiving end again. Del Solar. Little flick by La Rosa was a good one. And here's Hirano with a ghost of a shooting chance, instead leaving it for Rodriguez. Hirano again. Comfortable save though for Lanari. Latorre, and that goal's made all the difference in the world to him. You can see that already. Has a little bit of extra confidence, almost arrogance about him. Even the referee joining in his mastery of the early play. Garcia. No offside. Latorre. He was looking for a free kick, and the referee, aware of that, unwilling to award it. And a break on with Hirano. La Rosa. But he felt that. Giunta just getting a foot in. Latorre, as you can see, is still down. Now he's up. The inevitable comparisons with Maradona were made in the months leading up to the tournament. Inevitably unfair comparisons with one of the modern greats. But let's say that one can only hope that he doesn't share his hero's love of the theatrical when the tackles are flying, as they inevitably will during his career. But he did seem to make the most of that one. Arteaga. Some crisp attacking play from Peru in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Garcia is back there. There's a very assured look about Argentina. And if they were to lose the services of one of their established stars, a Canizia or a Batistuta, in the final stages ahead, then it's clear already that they have players who will be capable of coming in. Oh, and to say that took a deflection and hit the underside of the crossbar. It was well tidied up by Traviotto. Caught me as much by surprise as it did Lanari. And just as we were admiring the way that Argentina was settling that deflection off the ball over the goalkeeper, And it needed some very good defending in an almost impossible position by the number 14 to smuggle it back to him. It's a well-struck shot by Rodriguez, but it definitely took a deflection, and that's what carried it over the outstretched arm of the goalkeeper. So 1-0 Argentina lead. We've had 9 minutes, and already plenty of activity to keep both benches interested. Latorre, back in the land of the living. Nice move by Garcia. Medina Bayo is waiting in the middle. Corner kick is the verdict. Really is a tremendous atmosphere building in the stadium. Obviously, the large majority of the crowd are intent upon the second game, Chile versus Paraguay. But they've already had an entertaining start to the evening. Perizuga managing to, Purizaga I should say, managing to smuggle the ball away. And here's Hirano leading the breakout. Well marshalled though by Gamboa. Latorre. Altamirano has made the overlapping run. Latorre just wants to see as much of the ball as he possibly can. Strong play again by Arteaga. Cesar Rodriguez. Yanes. Vidales. Firm header by Gamboa. Del Solar. Nicely worked for Rodriguez again. Latorre leading the breakout for Argentina. He's quite a small man, he's beautifully balanced though. Medina Bayo. Mohamed came near post. Latorre was waiting beyond him. The pair of them are still waiting. Altamirano trying to resurrect the move. Given away disappointingly. This is Garcia. Almost had to tackle Latorre to get it off him. Zapata. Altamirano. Gamboa. That's a lovely ball, isn't it, for Enrique? A little bit of space here for Mohamed. There's a sharp challenge by Bravo. A little unfortunate to be penalised, maybe. I think he had his arm around the waist of the Argentine winger. Mohamed with the free kick. There's a little bit of pushing going on inside the penalty area. Caviotto was forward. Garcia was maybe the guilty man. But Argentina, particularly when Ruggieri and Franco have been playing, have looked very dangerous from those floated free kicks from the edge of the penalty area. Gamboa looking very, very polished at the back. Saw him play for Argentina at an international Wembley against England towards the end of May, when he operated in midfield that day. And he's obviously a very mature 20-year-old. Here's Mohamed. Argentina opening Peru up again. Crossed just a little bit too deep. It forced the corner kick. Vidales wasn't sure what was behind him. Game's 13 minutes old. Argentina, the Copa favourites, despite fielding a virtual second-string team here tonight, leading Peru by a goal to nil. A goal scored by Diego Latorre. opportunity for Giunta, but it just wouldn't come down for him. Plays for the Boca Juniors club. Blas Giunta. Very resolute player at the heart of the midfield effort. And even with so many changes, there looks to be a nice balance about this Argentine side. So, a great credit to the organisation of their coach, Alfio Basile, who is yet to taste defeat as the national manager and beaten in 10 games since his first in charge back in February. Wouldn't fall for La Rosa, and Gamboa was able to recover. A rather more anxious clearance from him this time. Hirano, who's usually the spark of Peru's better moments, but Garcia had the better of him that time, and then had to have a little tug at Yanez's shirt. And the referee deciding that it was too crude a challenge to allow any kind of advantage. Hirano. Well, it was taken so quickly, it surprised him, and he caught a little bit more of the ground with his left foot than he did of the ball. We've had a quarter of an hour's play. It's Argentina 1. And Lucas Sage Sport, the co-sponsors of Spring Sports coverage of the Copa America. Argentina 1, Peru 0. Firm challenge that. What a pleasant sound that is. Wouldn't like to be in the seat in front of him. Hirano, La Rosa. Invitation for Ricardo Bravo to come forward from right back. And Peru have got plenty of men forward here. There's a foul on La Torre. And just as all of Argentina will fall instantly in love with Diego La Torre, so the rest of South America will mark him down at the top of their list for whistles and catcalls, such as the rivalry between the giants of the game and this football-mad continent. Peru's hopes of qualifying for the final stages founded on their defeat by the Paraguayans on the opening day, victims of a fine goal by Luis Monzon. They then got swept up in the fervour of a hometown performance by Chile, losing 4-2 in a game they were never completely out of, before thrashing a faltering Venezuela 5-1 on Friday. Venezuela down to 10 men for the most part. But Peru have always looked like scoring goals. They've actually got 7. Only Argentina with 9 now have got more in the whole tournament. But they've conceded too many, and they haven't always taken as many of the chances that they've created as they would have liked, the Peruvians. They had 28 goal-scoring attempts against Venezuela on Friday. Don't think anybody's topped that. Here's 5 goals. And they're on the receiving end tonight, and they're being stretched again with Medina Bayo waiting for the cross from Garcia. And it didn't arrive where he wanted it. Minutes gone. Peru in the predominantly white strip with a red sash, trailing Argentina by 1-0. This is Arteaga. Headed away was by Enrique. Garcia. He scored for Argentina at Wembley in that friendly international against England at the end of May. Argentina were 2 down in that game, got back to 2-2. Good performance. Two headed goals from corners. Strange for a British side to concede such goals against South Americans. There's a real range about the new look Argentina, and there was no Canija that night, no Batistuta, no Rodriguez, no Latorre in that team. That cutting edge has been added in the month leading up to the Copa America, and it's being felt quite sharply by all who are put in front of Argentina. Single goal was scored by Diego Latorre after just 3 minutes. The Argentines who made the trip over to Santiago, and both of these nations border Chile, are enjoying the performance of what I can only reiterate is virtually their reserve team. La Rosa getting possession from Gamboa. It's the first mistake I think he's made. Shot coming in from Del Solar. Well blocked, and here's Latorre, the goal scorer. Medina Vea, that's a beauty. Kicking out Zapata, I think it is, on the far side. Altamirano, who's forward from fullback. Junta. Zapata. Latorre going tumbling again. Referee says throw in. And certainly from what we've seen of Latorre, and it's been more encouraging tonight. He doesn't hesitate to go down when the challenges knock him off balance. And let's hope that's not going to be a disease which grows as his career develops. So unnecessary when he's got so much to offer. Barco. Bravo. Bravo trying to help it on. It's an awkward one for Lanari, and he kept his eye on it under pressure from La Rosa. During the World Cup finals, of course, an Argentine substitute goalkeeper emerged dramatically. That time it was Goycochea out of the shadows of Pompidou, who so tragically broke his leg in the match against the Soviet Union, Argentina's second. And Lanari looks more than capable of coming to their rescue if anything should happen to Goycochea. Plays for the Rosario club. Del Solar. Cesar Rodriguez. Barco. Del Solar waiting in the middle. Important header by the left back Enrique. Latorre coming deep for the ball again. Just taking on a bit too much now. Bravo. Cesar Rodriguez. Who moved the ball quite sweetly up until this point. Just need a little bit of penetration now. Maybe it's coming. Shot from Yanez was blocked. One back by Cesar Rodriguez. But Altamirano is strong enough. And Craviotto standing no nonsense. Free kick going Peru's way this time. which Yanes will take. Well, they're not frightened to shoot from long range, and they're certainly not frightened to appeal for corners, and indeed, Hirano's shot got a deflection. The diminutive figure of Cesar Rodriguez will take the corner. There's another of these players who, according to my records, has already received 2 yellow cards in the tournament, but no suspension. And certainly the rules with which we were issued here prior to kick-off over a week ago suggested that 2 yellow cards would mean an automatic 1-match suspension. And I do believe a couple of Argentines have amassed 2 yellow cards and have escaped. And I do believe that the little Peruvian number 10 has too. The inquiries are just met with a shrug of the shoulders. And here is Cesar Rodriguez. And Latorre almost smuggling the ball away from him. Vidal is with the cross. La Rosa rising, just got up a little bit too early and couldn't hang. He would have needed wings actually to have stayed up there for as long as he required. He mistimed his jump. He was at the highest point when the ball was still 7 or 8 yards away from him. Yanes. Latorre determined enough to get it back, but he's now giving up possession almost every time he gets it, Latorre. He's really hanging on to it for far too long. He made such a golden start to this match. But now the players in front of him, I would think, are beginning to get a little frustrated. Because Peru are getting it back and coming forward, and here's Del Solar. And just for a moment, I thought Enrique was going to help it past his own keeper. But Argentina have always done just enough at the back so far. Baco. Bravo. Yanes. Del Solar. Cesar Rodriguez. But it wasn't the best hit of shots, but it ran right in front of both Hirano and La Rosa, and if either of them had anticipated that screwed effort from Cesar Rodriguez, little jab might just have pushed you past Lanari here. We pass the midpoint in Screen Sports' exclusive coverage of the Copa America, coming to you in association with Adidas equipment. These next 2 nights, the final nights of the opening phase. Group B really could go any way tomorrow. Argentina are the only side certain of their place in the last 4. Chile and Paraguay will wage war over the other available place from Group A. A little later here tonight in Santiago, and you'll be able to see that game on Screen Sport after our coverage of the final round of the US Women's Open Golf Championships. La Rosa, Rodriguez, Hirano. Bravo had tiptoed forward down the right-hand side, but Hirano just lost sight of him. Altamirano penalised for the sliding challenge, which seemed to win the ball. Strange, all the things they'll tolerate in South American football. They don't like a sliding challenge, the referees down here. I can think of a few English fullbacks who'd struggle to make it through the first 20 minutes. It's their stock and trade, the sliding tackle. Del Solar is a beautiful purveyor of the ball with his left foot. Vidales has found some space here. It's a good cross. Nurano just trying to flick it in at the near post. Dangerous driven cross. Only needed a firm touch. As it was a faint touch, and that just sent it skimming further across the 6-yard box. Hit with pace, and there's nothing a defence likes less than that. Particularly if it's screwed behind them as that was, and they're actually facing their goal. Thiago looks very cool at the back too for Peru. Cesar Rodriguez is very busy. Yanez, chance here, Hirano, goalkeeper committed himself, got away with it, and Argentina escape via an almost unwilling clearance by Cravioto. La Rosa wanted it pulled back. I don't think Hirano did much wrong. Goalkeeper Lonari made a mistake in that he went down too early, but he recovered so well. He's gone down far too early, and if somehow Hirano could have lifted the ball over him then, it would have been a goal, but he adjusted so quickly. He picked up an injury in the ensuing melee. And Cravioto, the number 14, when the cross finally was driven back from the dead ball line, almost unwittingly turned it behind. Where's that going? Anywhere. Thank goodness it's wide of the post. And that really is the recurring nightmare for a defender. As I was saying earlier, facing your goal, ball driven hard and low towards you. You wake up sweating, shouting, own goal. Well, he survived without that time. As Yanez takes the corner, Lonari maybe a little bit shaken, but he's got his free kick. And Argentina, with half an hour gone, still lead, courtesy of a third-minute effort from their captain for the night, Diego Latorre. I wonder if there's ever been a younger Argentine captain, 21 years of age. But if you've been following the tournament on Screen Sport during the last week, and are wondering where the established Argentine stars are, the Canisias and the Batistutas and the Rujuris and the Goycocheas, well, they've all been rested for this game. And here's Mohamed, one of the deputies, looking for a second goal. He had support, he went for glory himself. He'll wonder whether Purizaga got a fingertip to it, but a goal kick is the verdict. Just try to place it with his favoured right foot. But in having to adjust to his right foot, he let the ball run another yard or so, and the angle became that much more difficult. If he'd been naturally left-footed, he could have driven it early, and maybe with a bit of swerve, defeated the Peruvian goalkeeper. Garcia certainly catching the left arm in the face there. The obligatory 2 attendants. Always seems to be an injury serious enough for at least 2 trainers to come onto the field. We're going to have a couple of stretcher bearers now. And unless he's been particularly unfortunate and taken a really severe blow on his cheekbone, I can't believe that that piece of equipment is going to be necessary. Hello, hello. The Union Jack being displayed inside the stadium here in Santiago. Certainly all the roots of South American football were with English settlers, British settlers I should say. And many of the club sides on this continent still bear evidence of that. There's some beautiful names in Bolivia, a team called The Strongest, and another called Blooming. And there's a Liverpool and an Everton over here too. But it's Peru and Argentina who are taking up our attention in the first of this doubleheader in the National Stadium in Group A. Free kick won by Mohamed for an Argentina side leading by a goal to nil, and the first yellow card of the evening is shown to Martin Rodriguez, his second of the tournament. He's the younger brother of the little number 10. They're very, very dissimilar in build. But Martin Rodriguez shown the yellow card. Free kick taken by the victim, Gamboa. Junta finding Enrique. Chance for Elano to go forward. He's got La Rosa ahead of him. Support arriving gradually. Del Solar, as is his wont, tends to slow things down a little bit. Here's Bravo. Helped on hopefully by Yanes, and it's fallen for Bravo. And a very important intervention that time by Gamboa. They're appealing for handball, and the referee's given a penalty. The ball must have hit Gamboa on the arm. He's coming to protest that it was purely accidental, but a penalty it is. Bravo's driven cross hitting Gamboa. Gamboa now saying not only was it not intentional, but it hit me in the midriff. Oh, I think he's very unlucky there. Very unlucky indeed. Referee didn't have a great view either, did he? Well, Goycochea made his name saving penalties during the World Cup. What can his understudy Lanari manage here in the face of a penalty from Alfonso Yanes? 10 minutes to go to half-time. The opportunity for Peru to equalise, and it's taken by Yanes. Argentina won, Peru won. A debatable penalty, but nothing debatable about the execution of Alfonso Yanes. Lanari went the wrong way. It's the first goal that Yanes has scored in the tournament. It's only the second that Argentina conceded. It's the second goal of the night, and it's Argentina 1, Peru 1, and we've got 9 minutes of the first half remaining. Argentina have never been behind in a match. Peru will have to try and double their efforts to change that. 1-1 the score. Alfonso Yanes, who is the player of the year in Peru in the season just completed. He's only 21 years of age, but the proverbial old head on his young shoulders at the penalty kick. Just confirmation of Martin Rodriguez's caution about 5 minutes ago for the foul on Gamboa. Meanwhile, a foul producing a chance for Medina Bayo. Plays for the River Plate club. He's been linked with a move to Italy for the new European season. And inevitably, we know that Juventus are represented here, that Real Madrid will be heavily represented during the second week of the tournament, and that the South American representatives of the wealthier European clubs are making notes, copious notes, on the talents in every match. I don't think Kurizaga or his left-back Vidales would be very high on their list. After that little misunderstanding, and then they got away with it. Arteaga just trying to settle things down, the skipper. But here's a chance for Hirano. Skillful play. La Rosa ahead of him, may just have been offside anyway. But Gamboa again emerging skillfully with it. And even on the ground, Gamboa knows a little bit too much for his immediate opponents. And Garcia may have been looking to the skies when he committed that foul, but it was a foul, no doubt about it. And another yellow card. Claudio Garcia of the Racing Club shown the second yellow card of the evening. Martin Rodriguez, Peru, the other man to be cautioned. the penalty taker and penalty scorer, Alfonso Yanez, is the victim. Has raised the temperature a little bit, that Peruvian equaliser. Argentina haven't had things all their own way. Teams can almost play too well in the early stages of these major international tournaments. It's something Argentina certainly weren't guilty of in Italy last year. And they only seemed to play well for a couple of 20-minute spells that made it to the final. But at the last Copa in '89, they qualified for the last four without conceding a single goal. And then they didn't score a goal in the 3 matches that they played in the second week. And they finished a disappointing third in the final standings. And it can happen that way. You can peak too soon. It's a very demanding 2-week schedule. And Alfio Basile, their coach, very fortunate to have the luxury of resting his first-choice players for a game which matters only to the pride of those who come in for them. Free kick to Argentina. The Bolivian referee is going to have to keep his eye on this match. It's just starting to bubble up a little bit. The atmosphere really boiling up. Just to whet your appetite for what follows, Chile have to beat Paraguay in our second match on Screen Sport tonight if they are to make it into the last four. Argentina are already there. They're being held to a 1-1 draw by Peru here in the white with the red sash, with 5 minutes of the first half remaining. Arteaga. Bravo, always willing to get forward from right back, and almost set up an opportunity. Yanez trying to keep it alive. Irano. Del Solar. Vidal is forward from fullback. But Argentina kept pressing the man in possession then, and eventually forced it out of play. Yanez took a bit of a buffeting after his pass then. This is Vidales. Del Solar tucking on a little bit too much there. Yeah, it's quite lively in there now, isn't it? The 2 boots flying. Here's Medina Bayo. He's won his throw in. We're into the final 3 minutes of the first half. Argentina 1, Peru 1. And the game's had a more competitive edge about it since the Yanez penalty 10 minutes before the break, which levelled things up. Argentina looked pretty relaxed with the benefit of that early goal from La Torre. But not anymore, they're stretched a little bit now. Mohamed coming as deep as we've seen him in the match so far. Enrique. La Torre taking over. He is a lovely passer of the ball. I'd like to see him pass it a little bit more. He loves to dwell on it and carry it. Come for it. Here he is again. So that's the way he can spread play. That's a great quality for a young player. Mohamed never quite shook off the challenge of Del Solar. La Rosa was in turn shaken off by Junta at the expense of a free kick to Peru. La Rosa got a mouthful. Del Solar. Bravo. Cesar Rodriguez. Lively run by Yanez. Gamboa away. And as far as Bravo. Always rising. But he is a busy fullback. One of the number in this tournament. Final minute of the first half. The score is locked at 1-1. Argentina have a free kick for the foul on Antonio Mohamed. Great togetherness in the Argentine squad. It's something that Oscar Ruggieri has been commenting on during the week here in Chile, the Argentine captain. Largely home-based squad and maybe provide a little bit more togetherness. Mohamed with the free kick. Milano trying to set up the break. It's well played by Barco. Del Solar. Strange pass by Cravioto after he'd done his job well. But it's a feature of good South American footballers that they are prepared to receive the ball in areas of the field where maybe their European counterparts would just like it thumping beyond them. Mohamed trying to get on his way. Carefully watched though by Arteaga. Good ball, Arosa just couldn't quite take it in his stride. Stoppage time at the end of the first half. First half which went pretty much according to plan for Argentina for half an hour or so. They're in front in just 3 minutes. And they were, in my humble opinion, desperately unfortunate to concede the penalty, from which Peru equalised in 35. But since then, in the brief time that we've had since then, Peru have upped the tempo and it's been pretty competitive. If anything, they've been edging things in the closing 10 minutes of the first half. And the half-time scoreline's about right. It was Diego Latorre, the 21-year-old, recalled as captain tonight, who gave Argentina the lead after just 3 minutes. But the penalty given for handball against Gamboa, converted by Yanez, equalised the score for Peru. And at half-time, it's Argentina 1, Peru 1. Late afternoon in Santiago, Chile. Half-time in the final Group A game of the first phase of the Copa América for Argentina and Peru. 1-1 is the interval scoreline. Argentina fielding what is virtually a reserve team tonight, resting their senior players. Their place in the final four already assured. Took the lead inside 3 minutes through Diego Latorre, and a very, very controversial penalty. The more you look at the award for handball against Gamboa, the less like handball it looks. 10 minutes before the break, squared it for Peru. They have a better record than some against Argentina. They drew their last Copa contest 4 years ago. Maradona was a scorer that day. But look at Argentina's overall record in the tournament, bordering on a 75% success rate, 12 South American Championship wins, 2 for Chile. Atmosphere building inside the National Stadium against the dramatic backdrop of the Andes Mountains, because it's all or nothing for the local favourites Chile in our second match on Screen Sport later tonight when they play Paraguay. This is not a match which will decide anything. Argentina here are already through. Peru cannot qualify. leading the group with a 100% record, Argentina, which they'll be keen to try and maintain this evening. Peru, for their part, having picked up just the 2 points from their victory over the whipping boys of Group A, Venezuela. Been a disappointing contest for Peru, disappointing week for them. It's been a great week for Argentina so far. There's the big inflatable tunnel. It's like something from Alton Towers, doesn't it? Is assembled again and rolled off the field. And Latorre shows us his juggling ability with his forehead. The Bolivian referee prepares to restart. It's amazing, really, that Argentine domestic football has become a glorified supply line for the wealthier clubs of other countries. Most of the top Argentine clubs are dicing with financial ruin these days. Star players invariably take a major share of their own transfer fees. Asset stripping is the order of the day. San Lorenzo recently sold their stadium. And it's even got to the stage in Argentina where Boca Junior players have been told that if they want to swap shirts with opponents at the end of the game, they must pay for them. Hard times in Argentina. But hard times often produce great sportsmen, and here's one. Oh, thumped against the post. Really dramatic shot by Medina Bello. All he really did need to do was slide it past the goalkeeper, but he went to finish with a flourish, and he nearly uprooted the goal frame. Came in inside 30 seconds at the start of the second half. Still 1-1 though. And if that set the tone for the second half action, we are in for a game. Cesar Rodriguez. Latorre. Almost upstaged by his colleague then. This is Garcia. All down without Eddie Messi by Vidales. It was a beautifully delivered cross by Altamirano. What a rasping shot by Medina Bello. Latorre. Vidal's header. Fullback sticking to his task and winning his free kick. Del Solar will take it. Gamboa penalised that time. Argentina are unbeaten since the World Cup final. Outstanding run, and particularly when you consider so many of the senior players from Italy have drifted out of the squad. Free kick which Yanez will take. One or two callers have been asking about Sergio Batista, the strong, bearded central midfield player from that Argentine-Italian 90 squad. Well, he's been suspended from international football for a year for striking a referee during a South American Super Cup tie. Maradona, of course, is out of the game through suspension. His heir apparent Latorre, who didn't get his free kick and waves Madonna-like from a prostrate position on the floor. Play pretty much within themselves in the main, Argentina. There's been a languid effortlessness about a lot of their play. Vidales for Peru. Morano coming back for Rodriguez. Yanis setting himself for the shot. Good save by Lanari. Yanis really got hold of that one. Here's Medina Bello. It's a cracking shot, wasn't it? He was almost going the wrong way. Argentina, meanwhile, at the other end, are almost embarrassed the Peruvian defence. Quite a lively game in spells. It comes and goes a little bit. When one side has a near miss, it seems to plop the other into an immediate response. Mohamed trying to get forward. Cross from Garcia was overhit. Pedano. Del Solar. Triaga all the way back to his goalkeeper, Pudizaga. We're 5 minutes into the second half. It's Argentina 1, Peru 1. Although Peru had the better of the half-time statistics that we showed you, it really was a cruel penalty given against Argentina, who have since struck an upright through Medina Bello. Morano winning the free kick, and Peru, it seems, are preparing to substitute their goalkeeper. Not sure if Pudizaga, the current incumbent, is aware that his deputy seems to be stripping off. Mohamed with the free kick. Oh, fine header. Argentina back in front. A crashing header by Craviotto. 6 minutes into the second half. And Argentina's menace from those dead ball situations around the penalty area underlined again. Ruggieri may not be here to capitalise today, but in Nestor Craviotto, he had a more than capable deputy there. Dramatic header. Crash past Pudizaga, and that may be the poor Peruvian goalkeeper's farewell to proceedings. Never even knew it had happened. So Craviotto's first goal of Copa 91 puts Argentina back in front. They led 3 minutes into the first half. They now lead again 6 minutes into the second. And number 21, Diosdado Palma, the Defensor Lima goalkeeper, is preparing to replace his international colleague and his rival in Peruvian football, because Pudizaga plays for the Alianza Lima club. Great one again, La Torre. Mohamed, plenty forward. Garcia. Medina Bello. Altamirano tried to provide the extra man. Still an opportunity. Shot coming in from Zapata, all the weight taken off it by the deflection. Yanis finding La Rosa. Cut down on the yellow card. This time shown to Giunta. And it's not the first that he's seen in his life. His disciplinary record would almost admit him to the Cray family. He was sent off 5 times last season in Argentine football, including once here in Santiago in Libertadores semi-final against Colo-Colo, which ended in a near riot. Del Solar. Vidalis. Cut out well by Garcia. Boca Juniors of Argentina were involved in that ugly squabble here in the Chilean camp, and they lost a Libertadores semi-final to the eventual winners Colo-Colo, and lost to a suspiciously offside goal, which triggered a free-for-all. Police dogs moved in to separate players. Several Boca players were allegedly bitten. One was pushed into the moat surrounding the ground. And others then took out their anger on local photographers, leading to a lawsuit being brought against Boca by a Chilean newspaper. And the squad were actually detained in Santiago for 2 days before an out-of-court settlement was reached. Never short of a headline when you're a football writer in South America. 10 minutes of the second half gone, and what's been by those standards, low-key affair, with Argentina, despite the absence of so many of their recognised stars, leading Peru by 2-1. I think what made matters worse for Boca Juniors in that semi-final was that 2 of the Colo-Colo goals were scored by an Argentine. So Kuruzaga's night is up, and here's the second-string Peruvian goalkeeper, Diosdado Palma. Valuable international experience at the highest level for him. And his teammates, meanwhile, coming forward in pursuit of the 2-1 deficit that they face. Good play by Bravo. Not for the first time today. Nice turn by Mohamed. He's got genuine speed too. Medina Bayo. Support's arriving. Great chance. 3-1. Claudio Garcia just seemed to pop up out of a hole in the ground, didn't he? 2 goals in 5 minutes. Argentina have clear daylight. Beautifully engineered goal for the Racing Club forward. Mohamed of Huracan slipping the ball to Medina Bayo of River Plate. And Claudio Garcia, who scored against England, remember, at Wembley in May, scores against Peru here in Santiago in July. And Argentina lead by 3-1, and their remorseless progress in this Copa 91 continues unabated. No way back for Peru, or for their beleaguered coach, Miguel Company. Argentina are in complete control. Cravioto after 51 minutes, and now Garcia after 56. The yellow card for Giunta, which was shown to him some time ago. Here's Mohamed. And I'm just trying to work out whether the new Peruvian goalkeeper, Palma, here had touched the ball prior to retrieving it from the back of his net. And I don't think he did. He didn't have an earthly with this. Talk about being exposed. And I think his first touch of the ball was when he went to retrieve it from the net as Garcia celebrated. And he's best out of it. Phew, that was a close one, he's saying. Kuruzaga's having his thigh treated. And here's Yanez for Peru. When the Peruvians played Chile in the middle of last week, they kept getting into this situation. They kept going 2 goals adrift. I say kept going. The game finished up 4-2 in the end. But I think they were 3 down in that game and got back to 3-1, and then 4-1 down and got back to 4-2. And they just kept nagging away and making you wonder whether they could get back into the game. But they've got an awful big job on their hands tonight if they're to rescue anything from this match. Latorre and almost playing Medina Bayo in again, and he's deserved a goal. 14 minutes of the second half played. Argentina 3, Peru 1. Live coverage from the Copa coming to you on Screen Sport in association with Lucasade Sport. Yanez for Peru. Barco. Bravo getting forward. Down by La Rosa. And away comfortably by Craviotto. Maybe very constructively too. Medina Bayo with a little push in the back. Del Solar. Barco caught in possession. Tune with which I'm familiar, I must admit, but they all seem to know the words, and it's celebration time in Santiago. And Argentina looking for more. That definitely was a push in the back on Latorre, and he didn't have to tumble for that one. He'd have had to be a rubber man to keep his feet. More than an hour gone. And Argentina have just found another gear since half-time, hitting the post through Medina Bayo and then scoring twice in 5 minutes through Craviotto and Garcia. And are now literally queuing up with this free kick to try and score again. Free kick taken too early for the Bolivian referee's liking. Both Gamboa and Mohamed, the ponytail twins, all lined up here. Just about stuck in Palmer's gloves. And not the best Argentine free kick that we've seen. La Rosa. Was that deflected? Hence it was. Didn't catch it as he would have wished. No, it's a goal kick. Must have been hopelessly sliced because it moved an awful long way. Argentina have not won the Copa America for more than 30 years. Real mystery when you consider their recent World Cup record. 2 wins, 3 finals in the last 4 tournaments. It's a measure of the emphasis that Cesar Menotti and Carlos Pillado placed on the World Cup. You have to go back to 1967 since Argentina figured in the top 2 in a Copa. 1959 since they won it. But certainly their challenge this year carries the threat of a side with a fairly single-minded intention to take the title back to Buenos Aires. And there's the man who hopes to do it, Basile, the new coach. Played his club football in the great racing club team of the mid-60s, which beat Glasgow Celtic in a World Club Championship match. He's made a few changes since Pillado departed, not only in personnel, but in style too. Gone as the sweeper system, gone the reliance on European-based players. Much in the same way as Falcao, his Brazilian counterpart, he's put an emphasis on attractive football. The sort of football that South Americans play almost impulsively. And it would be an understatement to say that he is a good deal further down the road to achieving what he wants than Falcao is. Brazil, the pale shadow of Argentina at the moment. But we are still a week away from decision day in the Copa, and things can change in a week. Brazil have got to qualify first. Vidalias for Peru. Good play by Medina Bayo. And here goes Mohamed on his way, and the goalkeeper, oh, he's going to pick it up then. Very coolly done. The libero in the making there. Barco finding Del Solar, who may just have been taken off the ball as La Rosa made progress. The Argentines seem to group around the referee after a foul like that, almost try and confuse him and make him work out which of them committed it. Suddenly, he's looking up at 6 innocent faces. The little push off the ball was by Zapata, in actual fact. It was almost like a blocking run out of the American football game, wasn't it? Mohamed standing by the ball, offering to take it on Peru's behalf. More likely just trying to delay it until his colleagues are ready. It'll be Del Solar. And although Lanari had to make some ground to his right, it was a pretty comfortable save. "20 minutes of the second half gone. Argentina in possession and leading Peru by 3-1, and all set to complete Group A with a 100% record. Just 2 goals conceded, and one of those tonight, a very, very debatable penalty. Oh, that's a terrible back pass by Crobiotto, and he's gifted a goal to number 11, Hirano. And it suddenly just became all too easy for Argentina. And there comes their alarm call. They'll wake up now. But that's a heavy price to pay for a reminder that this game is not over yet. Jorge Hirano it was who was alert enough to spot the back pass. But what a gap by Crobiotto. What was he thinking of? Didn't happen quite that quickly, but it happened too quickly for Argentina to recover. Lanari stranded, and nothing that Gamboa could do to repair the mistake made by his fellow central defender. And Hirano has his second goal of Copa. And we have a match on our hands again, and we're only midway through the second half. And Argentina, who just looked like closing it out stylishly, let down by Crobiotto. And he just didn't see Hirano. It's good alert play, good anticipation, and a sharp finish. Sometimes strikers close off the gap back to the goalkeeper, almost as a matter of routine, without ever really expecting the back pass. And when it does occur, they're not alert enough to pounce and capitalise. But Hirano chased that possibility with a real belief that something might happen then, and he was duly rewarded. And this really is the group of goals, isn't it, Group A? More than twice as many as the other group has produced. And the average now for the tournament is over 3 per match. And that perhaps is the biggest surprise of all. Jorge Hirano was surprised to get the chance that he got, but he took it well. Altamirano looking to try and increase the Argentine lead again. Independiente fullback has forced a corner. Our other major sponsors of this Copa coverage on Screen Sport, Adidas equipment. So just under a quarter of the match remaining, and a fascinating match it is too, with Argentina here leading by 3-2. A corner which Mohamed will take. Slipped on his first attempt. And his second wasn't too distinguished either. Peru have got that little bit of zip back into their stride again now. And here's La Rosa on his way with some support from Hirano. Well-timed challenge by Gamboa. And Enrique has somehow forced his way out of that cul-de-sac. And suddenly Latorre is looking to attack, and the referee's in his way. And here's Hirano. Played by Gamboa. Barco trying to set himself. Offside appeals, he did. Hirano was off. Lanari made the save anyway. There's a few amateur linesmen inside the ground who didn't agree with the man with the flag. And that's the substitution that's been made. La Rosa has gone off. And number 7 is Ernesto Aguirre. Well, difficult to tell from that angle. So the Peruvians have made both their substitutions now, and Argentina are preparing one. It's Leonardo Estrada of the River Plate Club. As Medina Bello, his top colleague, comes forward and hunting a goal. I'll be very interested if Estrada does come on, because just to emphasise a point that a number of us have been making out here, I don't wish to labour it, but according to our figures, Estrada has 2 yellow cards to his name, but no question of a suspension. So once again, the Peruvian goal coming out of the blue, coming out of nothing, has lifted their effort somewhat. Once again, Argentina, having seemed in consummate control, are forced back on their heels. Once again, the contest is in the balance. Less than 20 minutes remaining, though. Del Solar. Barco. And he knocked away as far as Hirano. Del Solar. And that's 2 points for the All Blacks. Between the posts, but high over the bar. Deflected there, though, by the looks of it. Certainly took quite a loop. Argentina are ready to make their substitution. Looks like Claudio Garcia is going to be the man to come off. And on in his place comes Leonardo Estrada, still only 21. He's been the find of the season in Argentine football. He'll make his international debut until February. Rodriguez. Del Solar. Cesar Rodriguez. We're undone again here. Another chance for Peru. Hit the crossbar and came out. Both sides have hit the woodwork now. And once more it was Hirano who was almost in. Offside against Medina Bello. It's all happening in Santiago. He just pushed it a little bit too close to the goalkeeper. He did well to get in his effort. But it hit the crossbar, face on, and bounced away to safety. And Argentina's brittle lead remains intact. Hirano again. Estrada trying to settle things down for Argentina, who've lost their way somewhat. It's sometimes the sign of a team which has no real pressure on it, no real necessity for them to get a result in this game. They've already done their job in Group A. And the temperament of such a side is when things are going well and when they're in front, then they're pretty relaxed and it all comes naturally and looks very good. But it's when they suffer a setback where they don't have quite the reserves of durability and resolve to fight back. When you're up against it, it really matters that you find that fighting spirit, and Argentina aren't in that situation. Latorre got a late clip there. Argentina still leading 3-2, but it could so easily have been 3-3. Hirano's effort right against the crossbar. Now, there's some concern here over Latorre, and I must admit that sounded a painful one. They can be very cruel injuries when a player is just in the movement of kicking the ball and following through, and a defender's raised boot catches him on the shin, and that is, I think, what happened. Or maybe it was a little higher still, maybe more of a dead leg. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any damage other than to the maneuverability of Latorre. I thought it might have put him on his shin, but it's... Well, he got a kick on the foot, in actual fact, which can be even more painful, a bony foot, particularly with the slippers that the modern footballers pass for boots. Mohamed with a free kick. One back by Craviotto, and Latorre seems to be okay, doesn't he? Estrada, the substitute. Surely not another back pass. I don't think Gambo would be as keen to forgive another colleague playing him into trouble in the way that Craviotto did for the second Peruvian goal. Here's Zapata. Into the last 15 minutes. Argentina 3, Peru 2. More football still to come for you on Screen Sport tonight. The key game to decide who qualifies from Group A with Argentina, where Chile have to beat Paraguay. A draw will be enough for Paraguay. You better see that game on Screen Sport later tonight after the closing round of the US Women's Open Golf Championship. A full night of live sport for you on Screen Sport. Way by Bravo. Aguirre. Del Solar. Well seen by Craviotto, but he again took on a little bit too much. Hirano trying to play Aguirre in. Giunta that time doing enough. Never been much in it. Argentina held a 2-goal lead for 10 whole minutes midway through the second half. Well, we're in front after just 3 minutes through Latorre. Yanez equalised from the penalty spot 10 minutes before half-time, and that's the way it was at the break. And then 2 goals in a 5-minute spell early in the second half from Craviotto and Garcia after Medina Bayo had hit the post, put Argentina 3-1 up. But 10 minutes later, Craviotto's dreadful back pass led in Hirano for 3-2, and since then Hirano has come within the proverbial coat of paint of equalising. Latorre. Headed down by the fullback, Medina Bayo! And the post has been struck again. And again, it's Medina Bayo who's the unlucky Argentine player, this time the outside of the upright. Beautifully set up for him by Altamirano. And didn't he do well to make the shooting space? Poor old Palmer here, the goalkeeper, all he sees is things flashing past him. Talk about it being difficult for a substitute to get to the pace of a game. The goalkeeper would verify that. It's the pace of the Argentine shots which are rather worrying him. Here's Latorre. Really, since his 3rd-minute goal, the end product hasn't quite been there from Latorre. We've seen enough flashes and glimpses to know that there's talent in the making. Here he is again. But too much of it's been wasted, either by dwelling on the ball too long or by delaying the pass for too long. but there's nothing wrong with a brilliant young footballer wanting to see a lot of the ball. At least that's not been coached out of him. Yanez on. Aguirre fighting for the ball. Estrada losing out that time, and his right arm is in an interesting position. There's Del Solar trying to go past him. Here's Latorre. Seems to have the legs of a young player, that's for sure. He's always been available tonight. He's carried the ball a lot, and that can be very tiring. But he's still a force in the game, even at this late stage. Approaching the last 10 minutes. Always wants it. Altamirano. Zapata. Estrada showing a little bit too much of the ball to his direct opponent. Rodriguez. Irano. The slippery little customer. Get out. Comfortably though by Junta. Here's Mohamed. It's like the local coal mine shift has just finished. Free kick to Argentina. Enrique, who won it, is in need of a little bit of attention, or maybe just a short rest. I wonder if any of these players in his shadow squad have convinced Basile that they're worth a place in his starting lineup for the second phase of this competition. It would be difficult to know where there was a weakness, though, in his first choice lineup to even consider it. Certainly not up front, where Batistuta and Canita have been irresistible. And where, certainly in the last game, Leonardo Rodriguez, the long-haired midfield player from San Lorenzo, has provided them with a good service from just behind. Simeone is a solid figure at the heart of the midfield too. And with the likes of Ruggieri and Vasquez at the back, it's difficult to see where he could make a change there either. But if he has to call on his second string, the Argentine coach knows that he has some very, very capable players in reserve. Peru, for their part, have got a long way to go. You mentioned them in British football circles. The 1978 World Cup finals always come to mind. They beat Scotland 3-1 in Cordoba in their opening match that year, and then they held Holland to a draw. Teofilio Cubillas was their star man. He scored 5 goals in the first phase that year. Well, there are no Cubillases out there in this current side. They were found out in the second phase. In fact, they lost 6-0 to Argentina in Rosario in a match some claim was fixed. Argentina needed a big win. But it was an exhilarating team, that Peruvian side of the 70s, with a flamboyant goalkeeper, Ramon Quiroga, Hector Chumpitas in defence, and Juan Carlos Oblitas in attack. Nobody's deserved a goal more than Medina Bello. Twice he's hit the woodwork for Argentina. And his misfortune continuing, because he seems now to be in some discomfort from the blow that he took on his left shin. He made a good start to the Argentine season, Medina Bello, but he faded in the way that his club side did, really, River Plate, in their defence of the title. He was the leading scorer in their title season, but it all went rather sour for Daniel Passarella and company after the turn of halfway. Goalkeeper doing well that time. Came a long way for it. Peru have got 9 goals in this tournament, and only Argentina have scored more. And Argentina are heading on as clear favourites, and Peru are going home to Lima. They should point the way for the future to their coach and to any aspiring defenders in the country. Bravo has always been willing to come forward in that right-back position and support. They never looked like making last year's World Cup finals, Peru. They lost all 4 qualifying games to Bolivia and Uruguay. The 70s really were their prime years. They won their second Copa in '75, and they were World Cup quarter-finalists in 1970 before embarrassing Scotland in '78. Far-off days. Here's Martinez for the current Peruvian side, and Barco with a shot. Always pulled across the face of Lanari by Alvaro Barco. Peruvian domestic football really has been in sudden disarray. Crowds are low, the mix of regional metropolitan fixtures very confusing. And sadly, disaster has never been far away. Most of the Alianza Lima squad were killed in an air crash 2 years ago. And just this year, an under-20 international was murdered in his own dressing room by a terrorist bomb. Peru, a rather unstable nation, and it's difficult against that kind of backdrop to produce a stable football team. But they've made it into the last 5 minutes here against the clear Copa favourites, still in with a chance of maybe pulling something from this game. But Argentina lead by 3 goals to 2, and have Dario Franco warming up to take his place in midfield. Junta, Altamirano, La Torre. Just starting to tire. That was a rather weary pass towards Mohamed. Milano. Pass to himself then. Enrique never far away. Free kick, I think. Here's Irano again. Nicely taken on the chest. Nicely taken out too by Fernando Gamboa. Not a good ball though to relieve his lines, just inviting Peru to come forward again with Vidalis. And now Rodriguez. Offside claims. Waved away and deflected away for a corner kick by Enrique. Furious appeals to the linesman on the far side. Chance, meanwhile, for Franco to join in the fun. And the player he will replace is Medina Bayo, who took that crack on the shin a couple of minutes ago. Dario Franco, who played in the first 2 games, but was left out against Paraguay, and he'll be particularly keen to try and make an impact. But it's Peru who are trying to make the impact at the moment. A speculative effort by their substitute, Aguirre. But they're running out of time, just 2 minutes remaining. Franco, like La Torre, is on the verge of a move to European football. He's rumoured to be on the way to Real Zaragoza. And I think in the back of Basile, the coach's mind, is that players in the midst of transfer negotiations have their mind elsewhere, and both La Torre and Franco, who were in his original starting lineup, have lost their places. And although La Torre has played his part tonight, I don't believe that he will have done enough to edge his way back as anything other than a substitute in the closing stage, and I can't believe that Franco's got the time to do anything really to further his case. Last minute, and Argentina well on the way. And they're going to entertain us on-screen sport in the week ahead, that's for sure. Headed away by Craviotto. And again, still a chance for Del Solar. Who may just have been body checked off the ball, but Gamboa is able to calm things down. They do have a free kick, Peru. It's maybe an opportune time to mention, if you're enjoying a little taste here of South American football, and particularly the fares served up by the Argentines, that from mid-August again, Screen Sport will be screening Argentine League football for you every week. And it's a product that's getting better and better, with the likes of Batistuta and Latorre distinguishing themselves. But Argentine football has a free kick to protect against here. Maybe Peru's last chance to square the game. We're now playing stoppage time. Driven in by Barco, but it was a free kick which lost its way somewhere in the communication between the players. And here are Argentina breaking, and they've got a great opportunity to tie it up completely here. And it was Gamboa who came all the way from the back. And his tame shot, easily so. Deep into stoppage time. Another Peruvian free kick. Argentina's 100% record still intact, and they want to defend it in these closing stages. It's under threat, but a great sliding tackle coming in from that man Gamboa again. Sharp interception. Corner was taken, I think, with a moving ball, either that or from outside the quadrant. Quite a tense finish. Argentina 3, Peru 2. Yellow card for Franco, the substitute. Goalkeeper Lanari punching. Rodriguez shot. And an offside flag, is it? No, it's... well, it's certainly a free kick inside the penalty area. It must be offside. Been quite a breathless close to a game, which has had a certain rhythm about it throughout. Peru have just thrown everything forward in these dying seconds in an attempt to resurrect some honour from what's been a disappointing week for them. Yanez for Peru, still we play on. 2 minutes of stoppage time now. Craviotto lets it drift away for the goal kick. And Argentina's irresistible momentum continues in Copa 91. Alfio Basile's team striding into the second week and the final phase of the competition, certainly unbeaten, and now set to preserve their 100% record. And for him, the bonus of the chance to rest his senior players and to take a look at the rest of his squad. And most of what he's seen will have pleased him. Peru put them under pressure, but the bottom line is that the 2 goals they've conceded on a night when that 100% record stays intact. Argentina 3, Peru 2, and the 2 goals Argentina conceded, a very debatable penalty and a dreadful back pass, a momentary lapse.